Welcome to Strip Cover Look, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we're here for a poetry discussion. Look, I have new videos on the channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mondays are for poetry. I also have videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays on my personal channel, a link to which can be found in the description below. And if it sounds like I am trying to get out of here a bit faster than normal, it's probably because I am. It is currently negative 26 degrees in Kansas City, Missouri. I live in a studio apartment that has a window unit heater, so every second that I talk, I have to have that off. Every second that that's off, it gets 1 degree closer to negative 26 degrees in my apartment. But today's poetry discussion comes to us from Charles Bukowski in The Pleasures of the Damned. It is a poem called A Gold Pocket Watch that happens on page 478, and it reads as such. My grandfather was a tall German, with a strange smell on his breath. He stood very straight in front of his small house, and his wife hated him, and his children thought him odd. I was 6 the first time we met, and he gave me all his war medals. The second time I met him, he gave me his gold pocket watch. It was very heavy, and I took it home and wound it very tight. And it stopped running, which made me feel bad. I never saw him again, and my parents never spoke of him, nor did my grandmother, who had long ago stopped living with him. Once I asked about him, and they told me he drank too much. But I liked him best, standing very straight in front of his house and saying, "Hello, Henry, you and I, we know each other." There is in this poem a little bit of magic, and I don't mean, ooh, Neil Gaiman type of flashy magic. What I mean is, I'm going to distract you while I pick your wallet magic. I mean, there's a trick, I think it's called a 2-card Monty, and it's done best by David Blaine. Surprise. But it's David Blaine, so instead of 2 cards, he uses 4 cards. And he'll put the king and the queen in this hand, and an ace and a jack in this hand. And he tells you to pick a number between 10 and 20, and you say 12. And then he grabs your wrists, and he does this. So your hands are bouncing back and forth, touching slightly, touching slightly, touching slightly. And the trick, what he does is he says, okay, you had the king and the queen here, you had the ace and the jack here. Would it surprise you if the king and the queen are here and the ace and the jack are here? And you, of course, say yes, but it's David Blaine. So instead of changing the king and the queen to the ace and the jack and the ace and the jack to the king and the queen, you've got 4 new cards, 2 new cards in each hand, and everyone is astonished. But that's only the beginning of the trick, because the entire time he had his hands on your wrists, wrapping your hands against each other, wrap, wrap, wrap. He was stealing your pocket watch. That's what this poem is, and I think that analogy obviously hit me because of the title, A Gold Pocket Watch. But what Bukowski is doing is he puts that gold pocket watch right up in your face. The poem is titled Gold Pocket Watch, and I want to read it one more time before I get into what I really mean by this analogy. A gold pocket watch. My grandfather was a tall German with a strange smell on his breath. He stood very straight in front of his small house, and his wife hated him, and his children thought him odd. I was 6 the first time we met, and he gave me all his war medals. The second time I met him, he gave me his gold pocket watch. It was very heavy, and I took it home and wound it very tight, and it stopped running, which made me feel bad. I never saw him again, and my parents never spoke of him, nor did my grandmother, who had long ago stopped living with him. Once I asked about him, and they told me he drank too much, but I liked him best, standing very straight in front of his house, saying, "Hello, Henry. You and I, we know each other." So, where's David Blaine stealing your pocket watch with this poem? It's not about the pocket watch. And it's not about the war medals, even though those things are put right in your face and they're flashy, and he feels bad about breaking the watch by winding it too tight. It's not about that. It's about the smell on his grandfather's breath. It's about the fact that his parents never spoke about him once he had died. It's about the fact that his grandfather's children, they thought him odd. It's about the fact that his wife, Bukowski's grandmother, hated him. These are the ways that the grandfather and Charles Bukowski, Henry, little Henry, are alike. These are the ways that they know each other. This line at the end here, "Hello, Henry, you and I, we know each other." Is that literal? Did that literally happen? It seems unlikely. After all, little Henry only met his grandfather twice. The first time when he was 6, second time probably shortly thereafter. How would it be that he would remember this one line, this one little phrase from his grandfather? Probably that is not literal. Probably what that is it is a communication between the speaker in the poem and the subject of the poem, Henry Chiansky's grandfather. It is a little communication between the two of them that there is some bond between them. That bond between them is their strangeness, is their alcoholism, is the fact that when they are gone, they don't think anyone will talk about them. That is your pocket watch being slid over your hand while you try and concentrate and remember which hand was supposed to have the king and the queen. Because the Jack just stole your pocket watch. This is another one of those poems from Bukowski that is so slick, that is so sly. One of those poems from Bukowski where he just does a little bit of work just while you weren't watching. And that little bit of work goes, oh, so long to make something literary out of a story so simple as, hey, I only met my grandfather twice. That's the magic of Bukowski. That's the magic of someone who is able to take mundane words, to take ugly people, to take terrible scenarios, awful situations, and make them into literature. It is with these slight moves, not grand overtures, that Bukowski accomplishes this. And that's what happens here in A Gold Pocket Watch. That is all I have for this poetry discussion here on the channel. I hope to see you back next Monday for more poetry. I hope to see you over on my personal channel for something else today. I'm not sure what it's going to be. And don't forget, there are new videos here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There are new videos on my personal channel Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just make sure you subscribe. And hey, if you decide to hit that like button, it really helps me out here on the channel.